Welcome to the No Horsing Around podcast, instant reaction edition. Colts lose to the Rams 27-24, 0-2. I think we all know, kind of the way that works out. 11% of teams in the NFL make the playoffs after starting off 0-2. I believe every team started off either 2-0 or 1-1 that made the playoffs last year. Just a brutal loss for many, many reasons, and we'll get into it. Just want to jump on here and talk about, my instant thoughts quickly. It has to start with the offensive line. Again, they weren't great today. I think they were just a hair better. But anywhere that Julian Davenport was on the offensive line, the Indianapolis Colts suffer, right? Like he's terrible. I don't know any other way of putting it at this point. He's not a steady, competent NFL backup tackle that you want on your roster. And a place that used to be such a strong place, O-line was everything for us. We kind of hung our hat on the offensive line the last couple of years due to health and due to just the continuity and just the way that they played. It's not been good. It's been really, really bad. I don't give a damn what big names you have on your offensive line. When they're not blocking, they're not blocking. They didn't do a good enough job. That's 2 weeks in a row. I thought Carson played all right today. I don't have a problem with the way he played. He escaped the pocket. He ran for some first downs. He used his legs. Guys, obviously he got injured. He couldn't play in that last series. We'll get into that to kind of recap this off. But he's Andrew Luck 2.0 almost. We love that reckless style that he plays when he runs and he dives headfirst for that first down. But at the same time, it costs his body, right? It's starting to affect the way that he's able. Can he be healthy? Just the attrition of the NFL schedule, the way it is. A, you got a bad offensive line. B, you play on a borderline reckless at times, I feel like. I love seeing his escapability. That's one thing that I love, but I love to see him roll out a little bit more, not always having to be running for his life, but that has to do with a really poor offensive line. Other than that throw, that shovel pass, I don't know what in the hell he was doing, down there in the red zone. That was just a lot of people want to blame that on Frank Reich, but that doesn't matter. If I'm a quarterback and there's a guy is not there, he's not there. That's on me. Like I can blame any breakdown, any coverage, any player, whatever. But if I throw a football in the vicinity of somewhere where nobody even exists, that's my fault. So that was a really, really bad, costly mistake for Carson Wentz. And our defense at times, man, they're just anemic. They play really, really solid, and then they come back and they back that up with a really, really bad drive. Cooper Kupp letting him get free. They just know how that connection is already with Matthew Stafford, and Cooper Kupp looks to be really, really solid. We played better this week. This is not all a discouraging podcast. We played better this week. We were in the game. We had a chance to win, and we all know that. Jacob Eason comes down in there and, on his first pass, he throws a 100-mile-an-hour fastball to Zach Pascal, grazes off his hands, goes out of bounds. The next time he runs that post corner, he throws that post corner route into double coverage, and you can't do that. I thought Frank could have done something to help him a little bit there, honestly. I thought he could have given him a drive starter, something simple, quick, their go-to, their drive starter, 6, 7, 8 yards just to kind of get ahead of the chains. I think he tried to do that with a Pascal pass. But this is Jacob Eason, right? Like, this is who Jacob Eason is. He's always going to have this issue because he has that huge arm, and we love that huge arm, but he just doesn't have any touch. There's no changeup with him. Man, that's what we saw all preseason long. That's what we saw in college, and that's what we're faced with. We don't know the injury situation as of right now. It's an ankle injury. Carson was asked and kind of pressed after the game, is it broken? He was honest. He said, I don't know. He said he's had some really bad ankle injuries before. He played through them. He said this one was not playable. So that really, really sucks. So I'm sure we're going to have a follow-up podcast to this depending on the injury, the severity. Steven does a great job of cleaning us up, kind of taking a deep breath 24 hours later, and he gets that out tomorrow. And, man, it just wasn't good enough. Our linebackers look out of sync almost all game long. I just hate that, man. I mean, I know Darius had one big play of stopping in the backfield. He missed it. He missed an interception. We dropped a couple interceptions today, honestly. That we could have flipped the field and could have changed everything as far as that goes. But like I said, bad offensive line. Defense didn't play great. I didn't think we got enough pressure. We got a little bit of pressure on Stafford. And in those moments, when we got that pressure, you notice Stafford making quick rush bad throws and even turned one over. He kind of sailed one out there a little bit early. I believe it was Willis who got the interception. Man, I mean, and then the clash of the Titans, right? Quentin Nelson, Aaron Donald. I watched them play a little bit head-to-head day. It was crazy seeing them live. Quentin got a really good initial push on Aaron, but it's just amazing that hand technique that Aaron Donald has. He can kind of stay with it and kind of stack. You can stack that running back whether he's going left or right, and he finds a way to just fall off, and he's in the backfield getting some tackles. I'll have to go look at the stat line. I don't think he got an official sack today. I think he got lots of hurries and lots of hits. So obviously, we knew that going into the football game. We knew we were going to play a good football team. We're 0-2, and we were beat by two teams who I think will be in the playoffs. Two teams who I quite frankly think have a chance to win a game in the playoffs. I mean, they're that good. They have a chance to possibly be playing, in that NFC West game to even have a chance to go to the Super Bowl. It's not like we lost to bad teams, and we lost two different ways. We lost terrible and really bad fashion to Seattle. Water kind of found its level today, and our team looked a little bit better because they played together. This is not their very first time seeing all of these parts out there. Communication was a little bit better. We had a real good chance to win that game. I can't stress that enough. I know everybody's going to get caught up in A, the Carson injury, B, and Jacob Eason and just that terrible throw. But this football team was in position at home in front of their home crowd with a chance to win a football game. And they just didn't do it, man. And talk about Frank Reich. Anybody who's ever listened to me, I'm a huge Frank Reich advocate. I think he's a great leader. I think in these first 2 weeks, it's not been good. I don't think he's called bad games, but I think he's had really bad moments. At the very beginning of that game, you go for it on that goal line carry on fourth down. You don't even run the ball. I know you've been stopped, but still, if you're going to do it and you're going to push it in, you run the football. I would have liked to see them against a really good team coming off a really bad loss. Start with the 3 points, man. I mean, I understand, your aggressive nature and the way that you want your football team to play. But there's a difference between being aggressive and just being reckless. I mean, honestly, he was reckless today in some of those instances. I think sometimes Frank can outthink himself and get a little bit too cute in those moments. Sometimes you just got to make the simple, the easy, the right play, right? Just think about that or the shovel pass in those moments where if we would have came away with 3 points. There's your 6 points and there's your win. You end up flipping this game and you win 30-27, and you're looking a whole lot different in this football game. So, yeah, I'm not ready to throw a towel in and say, hey, this season's over. Big days coming ahead just to see where Carson Wentz is. How is he feeling? How is he going to react to this ankle injury? What do we do? Do we go out and get a veteran guy and bring him in camp if this is going to be a long-term injury? Or do we just stay pat and stick with Jacob Eason and just see what we can do? This is a division, I think, no matter what records are, it looks like we're going to be able to be in the hunt because, quite frankly, I thought the division was going to be pretty headstrong between us and the Titans, and neither one of the teams come out, looking like they're going to really win a game. I don't know. The Titans are losing right now as we're recording this podcast. I believe it's 6:05 on a Sunday right after the game. So they could both go into next week's matchup 0-2, and whoever loses that game is, for all intents and purposes, maybe just about pushing themselves out of a serious playoff push when it comes down to it. Somebody's got to win this damn division, so we'll see how that all plays out. But that's my instant thoughts. O-line terrible, not a good enough pass rush today. Linebackers got to be better. Frank Reich's got to be better in those critical moments. And Carson Wentz did enough, I feel like, to put us in position to win that football game. And it's just unfortunate we didn't get to see him go out there on that field, trot out there on that field, and have a chance to lead us down there for his first game-winning victory as a Colt. So, guys, thanks so much for tuning in. Like we say, like, rate, review, share, subscribe. We love your comments on the YouTube channel. Put them down there. Let's get a great, healthy conversation going. Even if you disagree with me, we want to have your voice heard. And join the No Horsing family. Guys, thank you so much, and we'll be in touch very, very soon.